Welcome to this episode of the Faster Than Lightspeed podcast. I'm your Captain Kenny Lightspeed, and this is my executive officer,
Joey Ashpacer.
That's such a lame name.
It's a good name.
It's a dumb name.
It's like Starbucks.
Because you pace around. No, Lightspeed's like Starbucks.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's way
No, it's
better.
not.
What's Ash Pacer? What the heck is Ash?
Ash
You're
Erlin.
Ashy? I know, yeah, that's lame though. I get the reference to your favorite NPC in Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Original Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a lame reference though.
And then I pace around.
Yeah, lame.
That's so cool.
Totally.
Ash Pacer.
There's no real action in that. Somebody's gonna think, oh, you smoke a lot and you walk while you smoke.
No.
Yeah, ashtray.
You guys should watch my Twitch streams.
Welcome to this episode of the podcast. This is going to be our Book of Boba Fett review. That's our primary topic. I think we'll have a lot to talk about in our news today, though, too, because there were Super Bowl trailers last weekend, right?
That's right. I totally forgot to even mention those.
Yeah, we've never talked about those. I have a couple of them on my list, so we'll probably get into those. How are you right now, Joey?
I'm doing good. Did not expect to go record a podcast if you asked me 3 days ago, but I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
So, do we want to just jump into our news right away?
Yes.
All right.
No, I actually want to go talk about our review of the Book of Boba Fett first, and then
Talk
end
about
on
that first.
End on news.
That's not in my format, so we're gonna start with.
Wait, what? You asked me. I don't want to do news.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
I'm the captain, so your point doesn't really matter.
Oh my gosh.
So, first I have written down is this: they released a new cinematic trailer for Star Wars: The Old Republic. You didn't watch it for some reason.
Lame.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool. I got the sister to watch it, and she was actually like, it was pretty good. And I'm
The
like,
sister,
wow,
she's been on the podcast. Watch her
Yeah,
Black Widow review.
What was her title? What was like her Lightspeed title?
Ambassador, maybe.
It might have been Ambassador. The Ambassador Maggie watched it, and she thought it was cool.
She represents some women on the podcast.
Wow. For some reason, you won't watch it, though, because you thought it was boring.
I thought it was boring, and it's non-canon.
It's not boring. And
Darth Magus.
it's far enough in the
What's
past where
his
it
name?
doesn't even matter if it's canon or not, because it's so far in the past. In my opinion. But it's still cool. I think Darth Malgus is like one of the coolest Sith Lords.
It does matter because their force abilities, what they do, whatever, that all comes back into play.
I don't know. But it had some cool lines from Darth Malgus. The cool points about it were that the Jedi just kind of pick who they think deserves training in the Force and kind of play God in that way. That's a Malgus quote. And that, because it centers around sort of this Padawan that was taken from her brother, her older brother, that the Jedi didn't think had a connection with the Force, but you kind of see he probably did. And that Malgus kind of abuses that feeling. And then I like the line, just watch the trailer, but the last line from Darth Malgus is like awesome.
I wish in Star Wars: The Old Republic you could be a Jedi and then switch to a Sith.
I think you might be able to. I've heard that if you're an Imperial agent, you can switch to Republic, and that you can do that. You can do the opposite as a Jedi Knight. But I don't know how that works. I've never seen that happen. I remember when I was playing it with like the group of friends, that somebody said that. And I'm like, really? I'm not sure how that works because I've never seen that or heard of that actually happening outside of that one conversation.
Yeah, because how do all your items work? You would still have them?
I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue how that works.
I gotta play Knights of the Old Republic sometime.
I feel like it might be a superficial betrayal or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, we gotta play Knights of the Old Republic sometime.
I've tried, dude. I've tried. And the base. This is what it comes down to, because you've asked me to play the Fallout games, and that base gameplay doesn't interest me as much. You've said, but the story is amazing. I've said, maybe on the podcast too, I don't play games just for the story. That doesn't entertain me. I'll watch a movie Otherwise, if I want to experience a story, or I'll watch a TV show or something. A game to me, just playing a game for the story aspects is just so boring to me, and that's why I've never gone through Knights of the Old Republic. That's why, Fallout. That's why I haven't played.
Let's close Oblivion to completion.
Right, that too. Star Wars: The Old Republic. I have a fun with that up to a certain point, and then I get real bored of the MMO mechanics.
Yeah.
Maybe even Star Trek Online. There's a certain point where it's like
we stopped when we're level 60.
Yeah, but even still, it's like at that point the gameplay got boring to me. I couldn't keep going.
Yeah.
Even though the story continued. And I kind of wish that I knew where they were at now.
The story isn't great though.
Yeah. But yeah. Either way, though, those cinematic trailers for SOTOR, for Star Wars: The Old Republic, awesome, incredible.
Yeah, people were making a big deal about it. I know they have.
There's a lot of comments always like, "This is better than what Disney has made for their movies." I'm like, not really though.
I've seen comments that say like, "We gotta just have a whole CGI Star Wars TV show," and then I think of
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Or like, what do you mean? I wonder how much it costs to make these trailers though. Like, does the cost of one of these trailers like equal up to like a whole series of like Rebels or something? I wonder.
I don't know. I doubt it.
I don't know. I bet it's expensive to do that sort of realistic animation. You know, if I were to bet. Otherwise, why wouldn't everybody do that? Because it looks really good, but there's no way that it can be that cheap to the point where you could make a whole TV show using that animation. I don't buy that. Anything else on that topic?
I don't know.
Then I've got on my list, there has been the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power promotional stuff going on. We have to talk about it. We've talked about this show before, and we've been excited about it for a long time, and that excitement has been getting hurt by some of these images, and the trailer didn't really hurt it. The trailer looked all right. Because they first released, what did they first release? Did they release those like character posters that was just like their belt or like their hands or whatever?
Yeah.
Right? And those are like, okay, kind of lame promotional material that you're just seeing their hands and you don't really get anything from that.
Mm-hmm.
Then they released some actual like images, which seemed not really set photos, but I mean, I don't know how they were promotional images, right? It's just promotional stills that looked. A lot of them were really out of place, and a lot of the characters haven't met like criteria. I think a lot of people have complained about the elves' hairstyles. That's not sort of the same like Peter Jackson, long flowing haircuts, or that. I think people have been annoyed that. I think that might also be considered canon, that sort of hairstyle, but I don't know. I don't remember, even though I've read the Silmarillion and stuff.
But you can't. I don't know.
The ears looked really weird in one shots. Did you see?
Yeah.
There was one shot with like you could see like the ears were like really weird. Maybe that's just that guy's ears. They're just really like off base.
I am not excited for the show anymore.
I want to be. I mean, I'm watching it, right? Are you watching? You're still watching,
it,
right?
Of course.
As long as they keep it like, they don't make it Game of Thrones, but in a Lord of the Rings setting.
That'd be the worst. That's the worst thing they could do. I don't like a lot
of the themes of that. But, and they released a teaser thing, right, for the Super Bowl that made some of that stuff look better. There was a certain like battle shot that looked all right to me. And some shots of like landscape that were cool. One of the big things that honestly I could care less about is the whole, the dwarf queen woman doesn't have a beard. People have gone nuts about that. I could care less if the dwarf queen has a beard or not. Do you care about that?
Absolutely not.
Supposedly female dwarfs have beards in Lord of the Rings. As someone, I consider myself a big Tolkien guy. You know, would you agree with that?
Yeah.
I am. I could care less about it.
You haven't finished Shadows of War, so I guess
that's
you're
not Tolkien, though.
So I guess you're not like
that's
a truest.
that sucks. That game.
It's
not.
It's a great game.
Doesn't
One of the greatest
fit
games ever made.
into the lore at all.
First one's probably slightly better, but the game mechanic wise is better than the second one.
That's one point that I think sucks. But the weird thing that I learned, there was some interview with the guys making the show that I think I shared with you about why some of this is weird, is that supposedly Amazon doesn't have rights to adapt the Silmarillion, which is more or less the Silmarillion basically takes place from the First Age, basically the entire, it's over the course of when this show takes place, more or less, which is the Second Age. Which makes you wonder how are they making this show? And they have the rights to the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit and those. And they're basing it off of the references from those books on the event. The references to these events that are in those books. That's how they're able to make this somehow.
Which is
so like,
weird.
What? Maybe don't make the show if you don't have the rights to the actual stories that you're trying to base it on. To me, that's a big old red flag. That's like a massive red flag. Like, we don't actually have the rights to adapt this actual stuff, the direct stuff, but we're going to adapt it based on those little references. Because the Second Age takes place over like hundreds of years and stuff.
Yeah.
And I hear that they're condensing it down into like a few decades or something. I don't know. Into like 70 years. Which to me, that's a massive red flag. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really worried for this show now. I thought it was going to be cool, and now I'm like, uh-oh. This might be real bad.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm nervous.
I certainly am not considering this being part of the same universe as, say, like the Fellowship of the Ring and Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Do you think that would matter, though?
The Hobbit trilogy? Yeah, I do think it matters.
Why?
Because, when you think of the world, you're gonna end up. Look, people are saying Gandalf's gonna show up in the show.
He shouldn't.
He shouldn't.
Right.
But will he?
Because the wizards don't appear until after the War of the Rings. After, the prologue in Fellowship.
Yeah.
Until, like, even after that. After Sauron is defeated for the first time, I don't think they show up. They're sent to, like, be ready if Sauron were to appear again, more or less.
Isn't the Second Age after that?
No, the Second Age ends more or less with Sauron being defeated, to my knowledge.
Okay.
And then Lord of the Ring, then after that is the Third Age up to Aragorn basically being crowned king. And then it's the Fourth Age, which we don't really know much about. At least I don't know much about. Outside of Aragorn is king of Gondor and Arnor.
Well, you read Silmarillion.
I did, yeah.
You don't know, though.
Because the big thing about the Second Age is that it's about Numenor, which is more or less Atlantis. It's where all the humans that become Gondor or whatever lived. And then Sauron corrupts them. And they try to go raid Valinor, which is where the elves came from. That's more or less elven heaven. And then they get, like, wiped out. And only Isildur and his dad survive, more or less.
Do you remember watching the Tolkien's movie?
A bit, yeah.
That was good. And then Chief O'Brien shows up. And then you're like, oh my gosh, it's O'Brien.
I thought I knew that he was in that movie before we watched it.
The greatest Starfleet officer of all time, according to
He wasn't
Star
an
Trek.
officer. What are you talking about? He wasn't an officer. He was an enlisted man. Boom.
Greatest...
Gotcha.
I'm trying to think about what did they say in Lower Decks?
Just a figure in Starfleet, maybe? I don't remember.
I think they say officer. I don't
think he's an officer.
I think you got me with a fake boom there.
I don't think he's an officer. He's a chief. That's not an officer.
I don't know.
He's not an officer. He's like a chief. He has like a chief position, but he's no officer.
I don't know.
That's why he has to call Bashir sir. Remember?
He's the ultimate Lower Decksman.
Okay, you're right. Exactly. He's not an officer, even though the lower decks, I think, are technically officers because they're ensigns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Chief O'Brien's an officer.
Oh, no.
Unless they gave him some sort of commission when he went to...
War?
No, not to war even. To when he... Like, after the show.
To me, experience means everything.
Okay, so...
And he has the most experience.
Remember
therefore
in
he's not
Battlestar Galactica, there was the... Remember Chief Galen, right?
Yeah.
And then he was on the planet with Sam Witwer's character.
And he tried to kill himself, yeah. He had dreams of him killing himself, yeah. I remember that.
I don't remember that part.
Oh, you don't?
But I remember he was like... He obviously had more experience than Sam Witwer's character, the pilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's not an officer because he was a chief or whatever. He was like the flight deck chief. So really it was Sam Witwer. He was an officer because he was a pilot or whatever. So he was in charge, but that's the same situation as O'Brien. Where they're both enlisted guys or whatever. Anyways.
His name was Crashdown.
Was that
Sam
it?
Something like that. And then he crashed
onto
a planet.
What was the planet?
Who cares about that show? It's a terrible show. Nobody watched that show. If I catch you, like, yeah, I'm rewatching Battlestar Galactica.
I'm gonna rewatch it now. In spite of you.
It's not even on Sci-Fi anymore. I actually checked.
I thought it was on something else.
So we cannot actually watch.
Is it on Paramount? It might be on Paramount's thing.
Oh my gosh, that'd be wild if it's on Paramount.
I don't know. I don't remember.
We'll figure it out. We're
I'm rewatching that in spite of.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
All right, we'll go to the next trailer on my thing. There was a Jurassic World Dominion trailer. Did you watch that?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay.
I think I sent it to you.
You might have. I don't remember.
Or you sent it to me.
Would you talk a bit about this because you're being quiet on me?
Yeah, I am being quiet because I like listening to you talk. Because I get comments saying, "Joe, you don't know what you're talking about on the podcast." And then I'm like, "No, what do you mean? I know so much." But then Kenny just kind of takes it up, and I just like that. I like you taking it up, and I kind of just
come on, talk about the trailer.
What do you mean?
Talk about the Jurassic World Dominion trailer.
I proved you wrong. Last podcast, you said, "Oh, well, they're not all coming back, are they?" They didn't say that. And then I said, "Yeah, they're coming back."
I don't remember disagreeing with that.
A week later,
I said that I think
are they coming back?
Was not sure.
Yeah. You were uncertain
whether, because I knew they were getting Alan Grant, right? I wasn't sure if they were getting Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum again.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Did I talk about this with you? But I want to see Parachute Kid again.
Oh yeah, I think you did mention that, and I was like, okay.
He got eaten up by the pterodactyls.
Talk about the trailer though. Okay, so 3 characters. What else was in the trailer? Was the clone girl in the trailer?
Yes, she was.
Was she the one living with Chris Pratt's
something
character?
like that? Yeah. There's just some girl, and she looks like
clone,
she looked old.
dude.
We only watched that movie like this past summer, so we.
No. I can't believe.
I'm not rewatching all those movies again. Maybe I'll watch like the first 3, but I'm not watching World or Fallen Kingdom again. I'll put my foot down on that. But I don't know. I am interested in this movie. It looks good.
Because what, dinosaurs are around? They're in the world now.
Mm-hmm.
Are they reproducing though? I guess the raptor had like a baby, right?
I don't know if we saw that. Probably.
I think there was. I think that was in the trailer. You see like a little hatchling that Blue had.
That'd be cool. I'd have to assume that. Do you think? Like, the cast, like the characters in the universe aren't really hanging out anymore. It seems like though. Like, Alan and whatsoever the doctor girl who puts her hand in the poop in the first movie. They're not really friends, it seems like, anymore, which is sad. We kind of knew that from the 3rd movie, though.
Well, they were living separately, sure. I mean, they were doing different jobs, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It seemed like they weren't together for all that time, which is sad.
They were co-workers. They weren't best friends. None of these people were.
I thought they were, like, dating.
They just were put in... No, I don't think they ever were. They were, like, co-workers. Yeah. They were partners in their research or whatever.
I think that...
And then Jeff Goldblum was whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
He just was brought there for chaos theory. Or whatever, right?
He was a philosophy guy.
Yeah. Right.
Which, Jeff Goldblum, Ian,
Awesome.
best character in that
Awesome.
franchise. Because he's just so unique.
He's just, I don't know. I just like him. It's like
Yeah.
I like that. I like Jeff Goldblum.
Are you gonna get the
as
two
an-
kids back from like the original Jurassic Park movies?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. Maybe they'll clone them.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Well, it'll CGI him in.
It's so weird.
Do a deep fake.
I can't believe they cloned a person, dude.
We know where I was heading.
James Cromwell cloned his daughter and said that she was his granddaughter or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so messed up.
It's weird.
Oh, oh, the trailer looked all right. I don't
Yeah.
know. It didn't like blow me away. There was nothing that's like, whoa, amazing.
It's also gonna have the future. Did you see that the actor who's gonna play Mario in Garfield is also gonna be in Jurassic World Dominion?
Garfield?
Yeah, he's gonna play Mario. He also plays Emmett in the Lego Movie.
Garfield?
He's Garfield. I know.
Was Chris Pratt Garfield?
Yeah, he's gonna play Garfield in a movie.
Going to, or he has?
He's going to.
Okay.
I want to mention that on the podcast.
Okay. Should we talk about the Lightyear trailer? That was a little while back.
It just looks like fun, campy.
Yeah, it didn't really show anything crazy different. One thing that was interesting was that, I guess, this group of people, they're stranded on this planet and they've been trying to get off. That was an interesting point.
That's very interesting.
What else?
It very much feels like an homage to all, like a bunch of sci-fi movies and stuff.
Yeah, it did. It does.
Does not seem like it's going the direction of Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
No.
Which I thought was very surprising. It's like, it's its own thing, which is very cool and original, and I love it.
No sighting of Zurg yet. They're
I thought of
robots.
that.
They're robots. No Zurg yet, though.
I am your father. Are we gonna see that in?
That's not a thing, though. That's just a Star Wars reference.
Is it gonna be in Toy Story 2? It was in Toy Story 2. Remember that?
Right, I know. That was just a Star Wars reference. There's no way Zurg in the lore is actually Buzz's dad.
Why
There's
not?
no way.
Why
I
not?
just think
Why not?
it's a Star Wars reference. There's no way. There's no way.
Checking.
Because Zurg is a robot, right? Isn't he? Isn't he just a robot?
So is Darth Vader.
No, because Darth Vader breathed.
I don't know. I say get ready for a plot twist.
If there is a plot twist, that's not it.
You're gonna cry. We're all gonna cry. We're gonna see like Zurg is gonna be cut in half in a second. That's not actually Zurg, and it's gonna be like a little man under a curtain, and he's like, "I am Zurg."
Wow. What about The World Needs Heroes? That video from DC, that compilation.
Oh my god!
Showing all their different stuff.
We're seeing the Aquaman suit for at least one more time.
Yeah, you did see,
Which-
because you were disappointed about that, but they did show, there was a shot of it, so it's in the movie somewhere.
Dr. Fate gonna be great. Can't wait to see what's his name die.
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. Oh, he's dead.
You think he's dead?
Oh, he's
And
absolutely
the
dead.
helmet's just gonna be sitting somewhere?
Yeah. They got Pierce Brosnan
Wow.
probably signed on for one movie.
Wow.
He's dead. He's gone.
Interesting. Yeah, because that's what something you've always wanted is Justice Society of America.
My idea was better though.
But this is at least you get to see some incarnation of what you've wanted to see, though, right? Which is because there was Hawkman there too, right? There was Hawkman, Dr. Fate. I think the Atom was also in there, some version of the Atom.
no Hawk Woman, which kind of sucks in my opinion.
I don't know.
We're gonna get a good old Hawk Woman's dead. You never get to see her. She's just know that she's dead.
Maybe.
And I'm waiting for myself to die, so that I could get reincarnated with her.
Just what, like Smallville, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's lame.
Oh, I think you're. I don't know.
Or maybe she is
You're
in
off
this movie
base.
and we just don't know.
Right, I know. I think you're off base. There's no precedent for saying
Yeah.
that.
I mean, do you need to show both? Not really in this.
No,
in this-
they're both Thanagarians or whatever they are.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
There was a bit of Flash stuff in there too. That
Not much though.
right.
Flash in Snyder Cut, really good. I like that.
He was all right. I don't like Ezra Miller all that much.
What?
I don't know. I just don't really like him all that much. just as in because we watched Fantastic Beasts for the first time, right? And Where to Find Them, the first one. They're in the case.
That's where they are.
That's where they were. Now, who knows?
Yeah. Now they're in the zoo.
I didn't like him in there all that much.
Well, what did he have to do?
I know he didn't have much to do, but I think he continues on in those movies. Because I saw him in the trailer for the new one, the whatever Dumbledore one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we have to do a Harry Potter episode.
Oh my gosh.
Should we bank? Should we do a Harry Potter episode tomorrow?
We do 2? I'm not going to be here that long tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
I'm leaving midday.
All right.
Not at night.
To move on, or do you have anything else to talk about with the World Needs Heroes?
No, I think we covered it.
Okay.
Nothing for Shazam, which is kind of...
Did you see Supergirl in that?
No.
Supergirl was in there.
Oh, cool.
There was the shot of Flash, second Flash, and Supergirl.
I'm looking forward to Supergirl.
To see her.
Yeah, see what
Didn't have blonde hair, had dark black hair.
I think she's
I'm
Latino.
not picking on that. I just was surprised.
Yeah, totally fine. I'm interested to see what they do.
Okay.
Nothing for really Shazam. Fury of the Gods.
No, because it was only the Batman, Black Adam, the Flash, and Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom.
Shazam might be the movie I'm looking forward to the most out of all the superhero movies.
Shazam. Then
Strange?
There's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, yeah. Which had its own trailer that blew our minds.
It freaked me out.
Blew our minds.
Is Deadpool on a reflection?
And I don't know if it's spoiler alert, but I mean it's in the trailer. You just have to listen for it. But Rick Boner shows up.
Rick Boner? Yeah.
What was his name?
Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner. Ralph Boner's dad, Rick Boner, shows up as a part of the Illuminati or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever it might be.
Like Patrick Stewart, as he denies that's his voice.
What? Well, do you know how they did Mark? I mean, we'll talk about it later, but voice reconstruction, not too far off base, right?
Yeah, he says he said like. Yeah, people have been doing voice impressions of me for a long time.
So, is he trying to Andrew Garfield this?
I have no idea.
It's like, why?
You see the back of your head.
More or less. You see like his ear and which doesn't have any sort of sideburn, which makes you think he's bald, right?
Yeah. So I think
he's parroting Andrew Garfield right now. It seems like.
Yeah. If that is not Professor X is in this movie and it's just some other bald guy
Rick
that's just
Boner.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Now, is this Professor X? Is he going to be? Where is he from? Is he from the original X-Men universe, or is he before Logan? Is he, is he in Logan universe? Is he in First Class?
I got a master call. I got a master prediction.
Okay.
You are not gonna like this or agree with this.
Okay.
I hope I'm wrong.
What happens if your prediction's right? Let's make this. Yeah. What happens if your prediction's right?
Then. This isn't the other way around. But Han Solo and Chewbacca beat.
No, that's not how it works. Because that doesn't sell a debate.
I'm not gonna be right. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be
fine. But we're not selling a debate with. Oh, my prediction was right.
That I think this Professor X is gonna be from the animated X-Men TV show.
Oh, that's interesting.
Is
that available on Disney Plus?
Yes, it is. Oh. They're continuing that show.
Should I watch that? I don't know.
They're continuing that show, and I think it's going to be about... We're going to figure out how, somehow.
Captain Marvel was in that show.
Yeah, she was.
And Rogue put her in a coma.
Ooh.
Do you know that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And I guess there might have been some shadow of her consciousness in Rogue's mind.
Oh. A lot of stuff happens in that show, though.
A lot. I'm sure.
So it's all good fun.
You think it's animated Professor X?
Yes, live action.
Interesting.
Same.
In live action, just as Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
Interesting. That's very interesting. That would be cool. Now I want to watch the animated
It'll be
X-Men.
so bold.
That would be wild.
It's
because those probably have some of the best costumes, right?
Oh,
they have the actual yellow. They have the actual costumes, right?
It would be like
costumes they should have had in Phoenix,
mm-hmm.
right? that they showed at the end of Apocalypse, and they're like, no, we're not using those.
I have not heard what I just said anywhere on the internet.
Interesting. This is an exclusive prediction.
It is.
That he is animated Sir X.
Yeah, I just feel like can't be Logan, obviously.
Right, because
who else could it be?
Right, it could just be... Because, I mean, really, what would it be? You could almost say that there was the X-Men of... Before Days of Future Past. That would be a version. Then there would be after Days of Future Past, Professor X as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I don't know. Kind of like...
Yeah, I think I'm pretty close to the money.
That'd be interesting. But we also thought that... was in Loki that... some of those characters would be like legitimately from the comic books, but they weren't really.
No.
They just had those designs, which, okay. So, which makes me think that they aren't super into referencing things not in movies, like directly. But I like that prediction. I think that's a cool one.
I think at the very least that's a quirky one.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch gonna be the villain of this movie.
That's what people have been saying, but
Agatha
I mean, it doesn't.
Gonna show up?
It didn't look like it was straight up Scarlet Witch, though, was it? There was like 2 Scarlet Witches in one shot.
People are freaking out, like, oh, this line is so true. Scarlet Witch, like, when I break the rules, I'm the villain. When you break the rules, you're the hero. I don't think this makes I don't think that's how this works or something.
So
like that.
I think some people have been interpreting that wrong.
Okay.
To be honest, because wasn't there there was a shot of like a statue of Doctor Strange, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was evil Doctor Strange. She's not referenced. Some people have referenced that as when he broke the multiverse or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Or did time stone stuff as that's him breaking the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's referencing that there's some universe that they see where Doctor Strange really breaks some rules and becomes like Sinister Strange or something like that. And that's what she's referencing, and in that universe, he's still kind of considered a hero somehow.
Yeah.
Like, he could be the only Avenger or something as, like, some hero.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be also the universe where... Because a lot of people then think that when she's talking about her breaking the rules, that she's referencing WandaVision. And what was the...
Well, yeah,
West
Point?
Point?
That's what she's... Yeah, Westview.
Westview. West Point's a military academy. Westview. That's a lot of what people were saying, that okay, she broke the rules in there and now she's considered not too good of a person.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's really referencing this other Wanda that we see in the trailer, right? Is that right? I don't know.
I think you're wrong on that.
On that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to agree with it. Maybe she's talking to the Supreme Strange.
You think that the Sinister Strange is still what she's referencing versus her West Point thing? Yeah.
Perhaps.
Okay. Dogs just opened the door. Dog, how did you learn to open doors? So you think that part's right? Okay.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with that. But
I don't think she's gonna be the villain, though. I still think it's gonna be some evil
Mordo?
Doctor Strange. I don't know. It could be like a council of stranges of evil Doctor Stranges, maybe. That'd be interesting, right? Mortals, also in there.
Maybe there won't be a centralized main villain. I feel like you kind of have to have somebody.
It'll be the Sinister Six.
Oh,
They'll just show up.
But who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, they don't really make it clear. In my opinion, they don't really make it clear who the villain is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what you said. You said
perhaps this would be like an Iron Man
Witch,
2.
But...
Or maybe we have some like little side villain.
Justin Hammer. Justin Hammer's the villain.
Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine he shows up like, what if he's on the Illuminati? Would you?
Okay, so
that'd be wild.
What would be your Illuminati? What would you create?
Who would be like amongst Professor X?
Animated series Professor X. Who else would be there?
I would put on the What If Doctor Strange.
Okay.
With Professor X. I would put on as well maybe some version of Reed Richards. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Some version of Iron Man. Hydra, Captain America. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe like a Red Skull or something.
Oh, okay. I don't think any of those are going to be in it.
No. I keep thinking that one of them was Ronin in that shot. Like one of them had like some sort of weird headdress. Like thing on their head, something on there that looked like Ronin to me, but I don't know. Ego.
Oh.
Ego the Living Planet would be
That'd be
wild, right? But I don't think so. Yeah, the Collector could be in there.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be interesting, right?
Some variant of the Collector. Because the Collector's dead.
Odin, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Or some sort of version of Thor. Maybe, what would it be? What's his name? It's like Thor the Dishonored or something. What was it? Unworthy. Thor the Unworthy. Unworthy Thor, or something like that. Which is Thor after he loses Mjolnir and he has the Destroyer like arm. Like he has a robot arm, basically. I think that'd be a cool one to put on there.
I agree.
Who would you put on your Illuminati?
Oh, you want my opinion?
Sure.
Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger.
Original Killmonger or what if Killmonger?
Some variant of Killmonger.
Okay.
There's some variant.
Okay.
That's King of Wakanda. So probably what if.
Okay.
Then we would have animated series Professor X.
Right.
Captain Carter.
Okay. Supposedly you see her shield in one of the posters, right?
Yeah.
You saw that?
Supreme Strange, because what else is he gonna do? Am I right?
You're saying what if Strange, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of the what if characters basically just
He just has that orb of Killmonger and Zola, right? I was like, all right, I've got to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is something I've seen float around.
Okay.
But
better version of Ultron.
Mr. Fantastic.
Right, Reed Richards, like what I said.
Yeah.
I said that.
Did you?
Yeah, Reed Richards.
From like the original movies?
Not necessarily the original movies. Wasn't there a rumor that he might be though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But who I don't believe those rumors.
Sure.
Yeah, and do you think we're going to see Deadpool in this movie?
No.
Really?
No way.
Because I think we will.
I don't think there's any way that he's showing up in this movie. I don't see any reason for him to.
Because he has to go to the MCU.
Nah.
This is his gateway through.
Nah. I don't think so.
If you would have asked me if Professor X was going to be in this, I would have said no.
Okay.
So that's my predictions. Should I start with my news?
You have news?
I said I had news.
All right, that was the last bit. I was thinking that I would cover everything, but okay, if you've got news.
Casting started for the Fallout TV show.
Okay.
Which you just said about 30 minutes ago that you don't like Fallout because of the basic things and you don't care about play stuff for the story.
Right.
So you watch the show
watch
if it's good.
show, yeah.
If it's good, I'll watch the first episode, tell you it's good, or don't watch it. I don't want you to ruin your opinion of Fallout.
No, I'm watching it either way.
Are you?
Yeah. 100%.
Are you?
I'll try watching it.
Another thing is that they said that you're going to see Master Chief's face quite a bit in the show, in the Halo TV show.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I am not okay with that.
I'm all right with it.
You're supposed to be Master Chief.
But this isn't that timeline.
People didn't like that you saw him in Halo 4.
Where you just see the eyes. You just see the helmet lifted.
People did not like
that. You see just a close-up of, like, the blacks of his eyes, practically.
Yeah.
All right. People have opinions. People also don't like that Batman lived at the end of Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And
what other news? You had news.
I had one more news. I forgot my other news.
We're at 38 minutes already.
Obi-Wan Kenobi theme song is going to be played by John Williams.
Okay.
John Williams is making the theme.
Okay. Let's get into our primary topic today.
Okay.
We, over the course of the last, 7 weeks, we have read chapters of the Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it. I think it's a pretty good book.
I thought it was definitely an interesting novel. Plenty of pictures to help visualize.
Yeah. Which is weird.
A lot of like really fast moving pictures.
Okay.
Like I never really stayed, but
that wasn't
in
my copy. But okay.
What? That was on your
I didn't have pictures in my copy. You must have read the children's version.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
So yours didn't have colorful Power Rangers in it?
On like the cover, yeah.
Oh, on the cover. Okay.
On the cover and the back, yeah.
Okay. So you couldn't visualize. So you had to visualize.
I mean, I visualized it pretty well. I have a good imagination. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I've got a real good imagination.
Okay, cool.
So, but you liked it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, are we doing spoilers, non-spoilers
Yeah, it's
for
been
this?
a week.
So we're just doing spoilers right away. Okay.
Is it for streaming shows? Watch it. Just
Right.
watch it. It's on your TV right now.
Right. Okay. Let's get into it. So, what chapters was it? Chapters 5 and 6 were just Mando episodes.
Yep. Fantastic.
Loved it. Remember Bad Batch? Favorite episode was the episode without
Yes.
without the Bad Batch.
Yes.
Favorite episode of Book of Boba Fett were the ones with barely any Boba Fett.
I remember my third piece of news.
We're not doing that anymore.
No!
That's a cut off.
I'll figure out how to plug it in. I'll figure out how to plug it in our conversation.
So that's a commonality now.
Yeah, which I think is totally fine.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I like the idea that these are all just one large narrative, and that will pop into whatever stories they feel like.
Mando is the main character of Star Wars for the moment.
Yeah, I like the idea that, or what is it? Or the one part of that is that maybe just don't name the book of Boba Fett. You know, try to make it a bit more neutral as to maybe who it's about.
Maybe Lords of Tatooine.
Oh, Daimyo of Tatooine.
Oh, mysterious.
Nobody knows what a daimyo is, though. Still, I guess it's a crime boss, right? Yeah. So, what'd you think of all the characters first? We'll start with that, right? Let's just go through all the characters. How about? So, you have Boba Fett.
Yes.
You have Boba Fett.
Got Fennec Shan.
Got out of the Sarlacc pit. Raised by Tuskens, which was interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel about how he got out of the Sarlacc pit?
Really cool.
Was it how you would imagine he got out of the Sarlacc pit?
I mean, dude, there's been so many fan edits of him getting out of the Sarlacc pit. I think when we were watching it together, I was like, dude, all the fan edits are all going to be like, they had how many fan edits do you think they watched and were like, all right, so how are we going to actually do this?
I think they were just like, we got to do this fast.
Do you wish he came out of the mouth, or do you like they just kind of popped up out of the sand?
I could care less.
I don't know how the anatomy of was it a sand Sarlacc?
Wow.
I'm having a stroke. A Sarlacc. How what they are?
Okay.
Under there, but I don't know.
I'd have to show you something at some point as to.
Dude, their belly is massive.
Like. Probably.
They have like walls.
Probably.
They have like
Then.
I want to talk about this. Do you think Boba Fett in this show is too old?
Is he? What do you mean too old? Too old to have a show about him, or just he's older than how old he should be?
He's too old to have a show about him. Because that's his age.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like we gotta do prime time Boba Fett.
Because he's not too much younger than Anakin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really cared for a show about Boba Fett.
Yeah, like something I kept thinking about.
I never cared about the movie about Boba Fett.
I was going to mention the movie just now. You beat me to it.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Was George Lucas going to make a solo, like a Han Solo movie and a Boba Fett movie?
Yeah, then
that was the big thing that I remember.
Then they had yes, they said that. And then there's also the Fantastic Four guy who was going to make the Boba Fett.
Right. It was Josh Trank.
Yeah.
And he fell off Trank with Fantastic Four.
Which is not his fault.
With Four Stick.
Yeah.
Right.
We could have a whole conversation probably about the Book of Boba Fett movie. Because we won't. But man, I wonder if they should have done it like prime time Boba Fett instead of doing it where he's old and like wants to be a daimyo.
Right, that's a argument that you could make.
Yeah, I just feel like he's just too old.
I don't know what you're talking about. TV show though. We read a book.
Oh, the book. I feel like we should have just had this. Like I feel like it's just too old. It's too old.
He's too old. That's why they had Fennec do a lot of the action though, right? Yeah. Even Fennec. I don't know how old Ming-Na Wen is though. Probably not quite as old as him, because she was just doing like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. not too long ago.
Yeah.
A few years ago now. where she was a super cool spy.
So should we move over to Fennec?
Sure. How do you like Fennec? We're getting our look at Fennec after Bad Batch. Where how many episodes was she in? Like two?
Yeah.
2 episodes of Bad Batch.
She's very much not a bad guy.
Okay. In this show, right?
And in Bad Batch, really.
This book. It's a book.
This book.
This novel.
I don't like this bit. I don't like this bit
I
at
just
all.
can't.
Fennec was, I don't know. I kept on thinking that Fennec was going to betray Boba Fett because, like, who else would they have as a villain?
Right. Yeah, I felt that way too. I wasn't sure what she was going to get out of. I still don't know what she gets out of Boba Fett being the daimyo. And what does he do as daimyo? How does he get any money from being daimyo now?
Taxes.
But he's not the government,
he gets respect.
I don't.
He gets respect.
That's a part of this whole story that I don't really understand how, because he's not doing spice trading. He says, and Fennec's like purposely like, there's money in spice trade, and he's like, no, we're not doing it. I guess because Cyborg Girl said no, or no, was it Freetown? Freetown was saying no. I forget what it was. Right.
It does bring a lot of unwanted attention.
I don't know.
And then you have to mess with the Pikes.
But what else do they do on Tatooine? Because it's not even like he took over all of what Jabba did. It seems like it's just on Tatooine. Maybe that's all that Jabba had by Return of the Jedi. Maybe it was just there. But what do you get from Tatooine?
Pod racing bets.
I don't know.
You get pod racing. You get.
Is there slave trade still?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know, but there's no real. But you can't have.
Then a Disney show.
Can't have him doing slave trade, right? Like, there's no way. I don't know what he does.
I mean, he probably won't do a slave trade.
No, I don't think so either. Because yeah, they're trying to make him to be this sort of honorable crime boss or something, right?
Yeah.
But I don't get that.
At least
I don't get I don't know how that works, right? Like, I guess it's just all the families were supposed to give him tribute at the beginning, but mostly everybody seemed to kind of shrug him off.
No, people gave him money.
Some people did.
Some did.
I don't know.
The mayor was like, "Where's your tribute for the mayor?"
Or was it just that? What was it? That the club, right? That the Twi'leks had. There was that, but that's blown up now. So you're not getting much out of that unless you build a new club. I don't know. We strayed off of. We were talking about Fennec, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, was she? Yeah, we thought she was gonna betray. That was it.
Yeah, I think it's fine. What they did, I knew they weren't going to, because what are you gonna do? Make the one girl in the cast betray?
No, there's
Boba
two
Fett?
now. There's Cyborg Girl.
Oh yeah, great. I still think that if they do a season 2 for this show, they have definitely left that open. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see Fennec maybe start inching closer to betraying, and Boba leaving Tatooine
to do what?
To grow his empire more.
It's not even an empire. It's one planet with people that don't listen to him. That's like really what it is, right?
There would need to be a time jump in him to get an army.
Time jump gets complicated though when this is a part of a larger saga.
We'll just have to wait until Mando season 3.
You know, it's weird that this book ties into these other TV shows.
Mando season 3, right?
Okay.
Maybe there'll be a couple episodes for Boba Fett to grow his army.
Oh.
Like they got
reverse it.
2 episodes for Boba Fett to make up for the.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, of course they totally could.
It's more likely that'll be cut out of the Obi-Wan show.
Oh my gosh.
That's not.
Do you think Rey went onto a planet in the end of Rise of Skywalker? We're going off Noah a little bit before we continue with the characters. And then Boba Fett was just kind of the dynamo there. And he's like, "What's up, Boba Fett? Mind if I land here?"
Who, Rey?
Yeah, Rey. Remember Rise of Skywalker?
Do you think Boba Fett's still like around by Rise of Skywalker though?
It's a good question. I think Boba Fett's gonna die. But to our knowledge,
I mean, like you said, he's a little old.
He is pretty old.
He's a little old right now. Like he's that old while Han Solo is still Harrison Ford, or still Harrison Ford. Is still like Return of the Jedi Harrison Ford, right? Mm-hmm. And it's thinking, straight up Return of the Jedi Mark Hamill too.
What if he's just in the back to tank?
He just sleeps in the Bacta tank.
Yeah, like that's just how he lives. Like, yeah, he's on very low life support.
Oh man, yeah, that'd be weird.
Or Fennec Shand is in charge.
What if he? Here you go. Continues the family tradition, clones himself.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
What do you call that next clone Fett?
People would freak out. Man, oh my gosh. Imagine if he shows up with another little, like they get Daniel Logan back. It's like, this is my clone. We're doing it again.
That'd be wild. Or his sister, Omega.
I want to see more of Omega in Bad Batch before I see her in live action.
Sure, yeah. But I'm saying they could technically be considered family. Would Boba Fett accept Omega? No, probably not.
And they'll be the same age, probably.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think Boba is older than Omega for sure.
How old?
Maybe 5 to 10 years older.
I was like thinking maybe 1 or 2.
No.
Because
I think like 5 years old.
We see her.
We see Omega. How old would you say Omega is in Bad Batch?
Just as old as Daniel Logan was.
No.
I mean, not Daniel Logan.
How? That's not what I'm asking.
Boba Fett was
I'm
in
asking.
Attack of Clones.
Oh, okay.
And so what's the gap between those movies? How many years? 3? 2?
I'd say like 5, 10 years.
Oh my gosh, you're probably right. Because Clone Wars was happening in
the entire Clone Wars. Anakin had enough time to become a Jedi Knight, train a Padawan for a bit,
leave the file first.
Go through 3 costume changes, 4 costume changes from Padawan Anakin to whatever Clone Wars Anakin,
to commit several war crimes.
Second Clone Wars Anakin to like Revenge of the Sith Anakin.
Yeah,
that's like 4 costume changes right there.
Well, how many times do you change
to
your
losing a Padawan? Right.
Yeah.
And now we're at Omega. To becoming Darth Vader. 6 costume changes.
Okay, you made a good fair point. So
there you go.
How old do you think, if we see Boba Fett in Bad Batch, how old do you think he's gonna be?
Boba Fett?
We're going back on topic of Boba Fett.
I mean, he'd be similar to where we last saw him in there, which I don't know. He might be around like 17, 18 years old, I'd say.
How old do you think he is in Attack of Clones?
I don't know, 12.
12?
Sure.
So only 5 years passed.
That's what I said, didn't I?
I guess.
You
know what? Fair enough. We're moving on.
I'm being consistent, and you're being confused by my consistency.
So what's the next character we're going to talk about? You are being consistent. I'm getting lost. We're going on this side. So who's the next character you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Black Consistent?
We could talk about the Major Domo. The Twi'lek Major Domo. I don't know. You want to talk about the Tusken Raiders? Let's talk about Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
What did you think about the whole Tusken Raider story arc?
I'm like, they love what they did in The Mandalorian. Like, I feel like Jon Favreau was like, I really like what we did with the Tusken Raiders. Let's elaborate more on that. I thought it worked really well.
I think it worked really well too. I like the slight spiritual thing that like his spiritual journey, when the lizard went up his nose.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool, and he comes back with the branch.
Is that like the Force?
You see him forge it.
Is that like a Force thing? Force related?
Not necessarily. It's a spiritual thing, which is a part of what the Force is, but I don't think it's necessarily the Force. I mean, the Force lives in all living things.
Except for Han Solo.
Except for Han Solo, which the great George Lucas has said. He said it. That's not us. I like that.
Zero midichlorians.
That. I love that you said that you brought that up. But yeah, so it could be Force. Who knows? But still, a spiritual journey. I like the idea that there is other spiritual stuff in Star Wars outside of just the Force. Kind of like the Night Sisters. They had their own sort of magic, right?
Something I love about The Last Jedi is that Luke Skywalker says that there's more to the light side than being a Jedi.
Sure. There's also more of the dark side than being a Sith.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was something that was cool. I liked all the parts of those chapters of this book that had to do with the Tusken Raiders.
I agree too. The trains like a bantha trying to teach him how to use the speeders. That's fun. That's so Star Wars.
There's so many memes, dude. This show.
It's the Tusken Raider stuff is great. I wish Boba Fett got another chance, another swing at the staff against the one Tusken Raider.
Oh, sure. He's like mentor. Mm-hmm. Sure.
The worst part about that storyline was just seeing Boba Fett just like be scarred up.
I liked how, because we've said this before. I think we've heard it before. I think people overinflate how good Boba Fett was as a bounty hunter, or as a warrior. Because you see him get beat up by the Tuskens like a bit in that training and stuff, right? As he's captured. And I think some people are like, what the heck? Boba Fett's supposed to be badass. You can't fight these. You can't do anything. It's like, Boba Fett wasn't that good. He was never that good of a bounty hunter.
He got thrown into the Sarlacc pit by accident by someone.
He got killed by a blind guy, practically.
Yeah.
Killed.
Mm-hmm. With no force ability.
Nothing. He was blind. It just backed into him, basically.
Yeah, so
he wasn't that good. He was not that good of a warrior. So, at least not at that age. He was good. He was all right as a kid, right? When he was 17, 18. But I think he was living off his reputation for a long while. Oh yeah. And now he's back to he's like, all right, the Tuskens show me what to do, I guess. Mm-hmm. And now he's okay. Now he's good. That's my view of Boba Fett. I think the Tuskens rebuilt Boba Fett, kind of like what happened with Thor. Thor wasn't that cool of a character, but now he's better.
Should we talk about the gang, like the color gang,
the cyborgs, the cyberpunk guys? I guess. What do you want to say about them?
I didn't mind them too much. I mean, it's the most jarring thing in the whole show.
They just, their designs just don't fit. I don't like the idea that they're just taking droid parts and modding themselves. Yeah. That's just like cyberpunk.
It is.
And it's a very strange thing to have on Tatooine. Because, I mean, there's sand all up in those bits.
Oh, yeah.
There's,
they're leaving it open.
Right. It's like, oh, you're covering... like, literally when he was fixing Fennec, right? Boba Fett asked if they should cover it up. And he's like, why cover up that beautiful machinery? It's like, because you live on a sand planet? Because there's sand blowing everywhere? There's sand all in that junk. Computers will get, broke with dust. You're on a sand planet with sandstorms, dude. Sand.
I hate sand. It gets everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Of course, it's irritating. It gets everywhere.
Yeah, I thought that, I don't know. I think they're not practical for Tatooine. Like at all. They could have been cool for, like, say, a Nar Shaddaa planet. But yeah.
I paid a lot of money to get this eye. Don't insult me for being a one-eye guy. Spent a lot of money. Remember that line?
No.
Well, you gotta watch the finale again.
Watch? We read a book.
I mean, you gotta watch the pages on the book.
You mean read?
Some may call it read.
You call it watching pages in a book?
Yes. Yes.
Where were we? I totally lost it.
We're talking about the
cyberpunk kids.
I feel like they weren't going fast in that chase.
Yeah, that was the slowest freaking chase of my life, dude. Compare that to the Endor chase. They were like, what the hell? This is horrible. They're going at like 2 miles per hour.
Yeah.
I go faster than that in like the parking structure downtown. Like, what?
It was funny.
Because I sent you the edit of somebody put the Mario Kart
music.
That's awesome. That's like my favorite meme of it. I know people love the like a bantha stuff, but I love that shot, that video that I saw.
It was,
oh man,
timeless.
Yeah, they just don't fit really at all.
Mm-hmm.
They're not too integral to the story. They're just kind of like goons for Boba.
Yeah.
Which I can give it a pass then.
And you said that's an American Graffiti reference.
Yeah, supposedly it's that.
Which, sure, it's so bad.
I've also heard that the director's just weird. That the director does weird stuff like that.
It's probably that.
Yeah. So, I thought that they were also dumb. I mean, not just that they have robot parts in a desert planet, that everything is open, but that in the last chapter, she says that it was Boba was gonna go back to the palace to defend for when the Pikes show up. Right, to try to run them off the planet. Which, that's like classic Helm's Deep. We're not gonna fight them on open field or try to defend our main city, you know, we can rebuild, you know, and whatever. We gotta rally our forces in one spot before we launch our strike. I'm like, okay, that's logical. But then whatever cyberpunk girl, it's like, no, we gotta protect these people. It's like, by what? Having shootouts in the street? You're gonna protect them?
By putting a rancor in?
By bringing a rancor into the city?
I think that you are...
By having the enemy throw giant droidicas into the city to shoot you guys up?
I think
like,
that this
what?
is... I think you're wrong.
Why, though?
I thought about it, and I think you're wrong, because the idea that
tactically it doesn't make sense.
I don't think the people...
Because they don't have enough people.
Oh, that's
straight
true.
up. They have
That's
no
true.
manpower to try to defend a city, the largest city on the planet.
Even with Freeport, you got 8 guys more.
What?
Even with Freetown, you still got 3 more people.
Freeport's a place in my D&D setting. Continue.
It's like 8 more people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we just had that like a little...
Because how many are there? There's Boba Fett, Fennec Shan, Mando shows up.
Black Ridge Santon.
You have Black K. You have the 2 Gamorrean guards. You have 2 cyberpunk kids, and they have a few of their friends who who cares, though?
Yeah.
And then that's really it. There's like 7 guys.
And Black Christian.
I included him.
No, you didn't.
He was number 4, yeah.
He was number 4?
Mm-hmm. No, he was number 4 or 3.
Hey, listeners, can you guys
He was 3 or 4.
that?
But you have those. That's like really it. And you have a couple of the bike guys. And
Baby Yoda.
And you can't... They don't know him, that he's coming around yet.
And...
His name's Grogu as well.
I call it Baby Yoda.
So don't.
I know.
That's what casuals say. Don't like what you said. Don't bend to casuals.
You got me there.
I got you. I got you there.
The Lord of the Rings. The Rings of Power. What a casual bending name.
What was I saying? Because you can't count on the Freetown guys yet because they're not around. That's why you need to be at the palace so that you can unite with those guys and be ready to fight the Pikes. Right?
You can't just tell you guys, all right, guys, time to go hold up into the place because I don't think people are going to listen.
Who's not going to listen?
The citizens.
You're not doing the citizens. You don't
What?
need, because I relate it to Helm's Deep. With Helm's Deep, it's that the orcs were scouring the land. You know, were totally wiping out all the humans in the land. In here, it's not that. It's just the Pikes are going to use the city for spice trade or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then literally their plan backfires because the families all attack them. All the families betray their promise and attack them. Right? Right? It's just the worst plan ever.
I don't think it works well for them.
Like, what were those Gamorreans even guarding? They were just guarding a cliff.
More people
so they
should
could
have
get
died.
Pushed off.
The Gamorreans died. More people should have died.
The cyberpunk should have gotten wiped out. It should have just been maybe the 2 main guys. Maybe.
Boba, Fennec. I thought Black was saying.
I think they should have gotten run off the planet, to be honest. I don't know. I think they should have lost because they decided to try to defend the largest city on the planet with literally maybe a dozen people.
Should we move past this? Because I don't think we're going to agree. the listeners...
I don't understand your point, though. You said that they did the right thing, but why?
I'm not saying they did the perfect thing. It made sense not to abandon the people or force the people to leave.
But why would abandoning them not be right?
Because you're not winning an offensive strike. The defense is the one advantage that they have.
Not defense of literally the largest city on the planet. There's in modern warfare, defending a large city is not practical. What you do is you don't attack the city once you have your forces. What Boba Fett did with the Tuskens. You attack their trains and their transportation and stuff. You take out their infrastructure.
That's so long term, though.
Okay.
Boba Fett's old.
Right, which means he has to take his time, though.
No, Boba Fett.
Fight them.
Boba Fett's old.
He shouldn't try to win a shootout in the
Dynamo of Tatooine.
Then he brings in the Rancor that he lets loose on the city. They're protecting the city by losing a Rancor.
But it's gonna be better than shooting the people with Slave 1.
But even still, okay, yeah, I get that. I can understand that point. But maybe just don't try to fight in the city at all. Take the fight outside the city. That's what Aragorn said, was that...
Yeah, I know.
Don't even fight at Helm's Deep. He wanted to fight them, like, out in the fields, right? Away from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the siege wasn't a good idea anyways. Which I think Theoden made the right choice. We're not talking about that, though. But...
Aragorn's stupid. You can't play him in the Lego games.
But I think they should have held up at the palace until they were like ready to fight, because they weren't ready to fight. They were ready to make a last stand, like immediately. They're like, "Oh shoot, everybody's dead or dying, or like in the city," and Mando and I are gonna have to last stand or whatever. And they sent Fennec to go assassinate the guy half the planet away, because that's gonna help them. I don't know.
I have a question about that. I think. Never mind.
What do you mean?
I just think that Fennec has her own interests in mind, but we kind of already talked about that.
Because remember, it was Boba Fett was like, do the Pikes still operate out of Mos Eisley? He asked the Major Domo. Major Domo was like, yes. And then Boba Fett sends Fennec to go assassinate them. And then she stops along the way to save the cyberpunk kids because they were idiots and decided that we were going to fight in the city. Yeah. And the I don't know,
there was a lot of just open, no cover, just shooting in the middle of a street.
There was a lot of that. A lot of
and that's so jarring
spins. There were also people were spinning to shoot, which was weird fighting. Yeah. I mean, the only reason Boba and Mando didn't get gunned down was because they had Beskar armor.
Oh, yeah. It's fine if they do it, but if you have, like... the cyberpunk kids.
Or the Freetown guys.
Yeah, just standing in the middle of the field and just shooting.
I can't believe those droidekas didn't kill anybody.
I know.
They didn't kill anyone. I feel like they were hiding behind that wall. I feel like those walls should have gotten blown up. But it didn't. It just, like, impacted on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I do like this book.
I agree too. We're talking about maybe the weakest episode of the show.
This is like maybe the second weakest. Would you argue that?
Sure.
It's like the second or third weakest.
The finale, it has a lot of good in it, but it has a lot of things that just don't equal up.
Right, that just didn't make sense. Yeah. But this was a part of our cyberpunk kids, right? Rant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're dumb.
Yeah, they're dumb.
What about Black Chrysanthemum? How'd you like him?
I was like, oh, I remember my brother talking to me about this.
You did, yeah. It was cool to see him. That's like one of the first characters from the comics that I can recall actually joining. Mm-hmm. Like,
how long until those comics get retconned?
I mean, it's not big of a jump to go from a comic to a book, though.
That's fair.
Even if it is the Book of Boba Fett.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh my god,
so...
we're still on the spit. They're smashing their phones.
Smashing their phones. Bringing that back. Who else? Who else is should we talk about Mando? How just Mando showed up.
Those are the two best episodes.
Stole the show. Stole the show. Showed up. Was it chapter 5? Mm-hmm. And there was no Boba Fett in sight. It was just him on Halo. He was on a Halo ring, literally.
Which is so cool.
It was learning a bit about the Darksaber. Cut a man in half. Oof.
I can take you in warm, or I can take you in cold.
Supposedly he's not a Mandalorian anymore. At least not a Child of the Watch Mandalorian.
Yeah. Of course, he's still a Mandalorian, but he's not a Child of the Watch.
A lot of people are like, oh, that's good. You don't have to... You're not part of that anymore.
No, you got to bring back the old way.
Right. I think that's his thing, is that he's gonna be Mandalore who brings the honorable ways back.
Which is fantastic.
Can be a good thing. I don't think a lot of people identify with that, though.
You got to get Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan, you're signing up. Go
Bo-Katan,
back to
we're cutting off your head.
Bo-Katan, we're sending you to the cave. Come back. Ask when you come back. You're taking the oath.
Yeah. So that's going to be a lot about Mando Season 2, right? They're going to Mandalore in like the first or second episode.
Season 3.
Is that why? Yeah, season 3.
You said Season 2. Season 3.
Or in Ahsoka. Or in Kenobi.
Oh my
It'll
gosh.
just be an episode of Mando and Kenobi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine that. It's just a time jump. We're back in this time frame now.
Yeah.
For a Mando episode.
You could just tell that Dave Filoni was like, okay, we need Mando to come in.
Yeah.
We were like, this show can't happen without Mando.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's just that clear.
And it's awesome. It's awesome.
It's awesome. Should we talk about Grogu?
I want. What else? Mando got a Naboo fighter now.
Yeah.
Which isn't really good for bounty hunting. But I don't know if he's really a bounty hunter much anymore. It seemed like he just took that first bounty because he wanted the information about where the armor was.
Yeah.
Right?
It's more of a side hassle.
Yeah, I think that's it. So that's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope he gets another ship though. Do you like him keeping the Naboo fighter?
It's fine for now. Eventually, he's gonna need to stretch his legs.
Right. Yeah.
How are you supposed to get like Cara Dune and Bill
He's
Burr?
gonna have to stop around a lot of places now, which might be how you introduce more stories. You have him stopping places.
Yeah. You gotta have like you're not like all those characters can't have their own ship. You gotta get one big ship to go carry around your frog ladies.
Yeah, because we thought that was gonna be they would have the Imperial cruiser that Moff Gideon had, that he would just be based off of there.
Which is
with Bo-Katan, but maybe Bo-Katan just kept it for herself.
Bo-Katan, why? I
like how they referenced, Bo-Katan was not worthy. She was just given that stinking saber, and that led to the fall of Mandalore.
Yeah. Also, that stuff's like, finally, somebody said it in this show.
Because that was a confrontation that I've been wondering about. Although Mando's not like, why the heck do we wear our helmets? But I guess that's just supposed to be like, we follow the way.
This is the way.
Which I guess is enough explanation.
Mm-hmm. Which I want... What's the time?
We're at an hour 11 minutes, right?
Oh, we're keeping this train going. I got plenty more to say.
Okay. You wanted to talk about Grogu, because that was chapter 5. Was like
let's include Luke in here too, and Ahsoka.
Well, yeah, we'll just talk about chapter 6 in general.
Team Jedi.
Just straight up, fever dream episode.
Oh my god.
we have Mando goes to find Grogu. Finds Ahsoka there too, which is like, what? She's like his aunt almost in a way. She says friend of the family. She's almost family though. She might as well be a part of the family.
She's like the
Skywalker.
She's
family.
like the cool aunt.
Right. Yeah. Cool aunt that won't train Grogu though for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But Luke decides to do that. You see a lot of Luke in that episode too.
So much.
Like a lot of him like talking about Yoda and like training Grogu. Like it was cool.
It's S tier episode. Not an S tier episode of Book of Boba Fett. Chapter. So good. It's like, don't just try. You must also complete what you're doing and do it.
It's just really good.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
It's incredible.
I want to put this on the podcast for record. I said that Grogu is what Luke's first apprentice. So that is he's training Yoda, and then eventually he ends with training a Palpatine.
Right. You did say that. Do we count... Well, this gets into that, though, right? Do we still count Grogu as his first apprentice?
Yeah.
Because he left.
For now. He's going back.
You think he's going back?
Yeah.
I think I've said it. I've said it before to people. I think Grogu without Jedi training, useless.
What?
Straight up useless, Grogu, without Jedi training. Because what he learned how to jump, he's going to forget how to jump. Or he's just going to get tired after every time he uses the Force.
Yeah.
Which, to me, fairly useless.
Yeah. Give it more time. Because, remember, Grogu initially was going to, like... He's asking permission to leave. Like, he's, like, looking at you, like, looking at Mando's, like, yeah, he wants to know if he can leave.
Mm.
I think this is a spur of a moment decision. And Grogu will eventually go back.
So, one of the things also that the ambassador that our sister talked about was that Luke's a bit of a hypocrite. That Grogu can't have attachments, but he can care about Leia and Han Solo and those people.
That's different.
How though?
Because eventually he had to kind of give up those attachments to a certain extent. He distanced himself.
In what ways though?
Because, like,
How did he do that? When did he do that?
Because it was very much obvious that his heart was still set on Mando. When I think Luke very much did distance himself away.
He had a distance, but why wasn't Grogu distance?
Because he wasn't able to. We hear that he wasn't.
It seemed more like Grogu. It was more that they thought that Grogu shouldn't ever see Mando again. But what, Luke's never going to see Leia again? We know that's not true. That Luke's never going to see Han Solo again? That's
No, they're definitely
true.
Well, probably when his training's done, he's probably going to be dead.
Who?
Mando.
Oh, when Grogu's training was done. I mean, yeah, I don't understand it, how Luke can say that. I think there's an argument that, like, why the heck would Luke say that? Luke's the most, like, attached Jedi we've ever known.
Yeah.
And that his attachments kind of helped him out.
His attachments kind of converted his father to becoming a good guy again, basically.
Right, true.
That's what I've heard, because this is not an uncommon.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I do think it's different, because
I don't know. It hurt me a little. It does lead me down the path, like, okay, maybe Luke, this is Last Jedi Luke going on. He's, like, on his way to being, like, too strict on what he thought was the rules of the Jedi.
which is true.
Right. Which is a part of his fall, I guess, is that, all right, I was too strict. Or so Yoda's like, you were way too strict about the rules. Like,
Yeah.
you should have started letting up. Like, this was the chance to do
Yeah,
that.
like, we need something new.
Right. Which, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I think this is, like, the inkling towards that.
Best part of The Last Jedi.
Makes Last Jedi better. Mando, or Book of Boba Fett, makes Last Jedi better.
Yeah, he does. It in fact does.
We're not getting comments. People don't listen to this.
Oh, please. Wait until, like, Mando Season 3. Then I feel like we're going to see a lot more Snoke stuff.
Book of Boba Fett 3.
Yeah, Book of
It's
Boba
not
Fett 3.
a series of books.
Mando Season 3, we're going to see maybe more of First Order stuff and more leading into
Okay.
Force Awakens.
Then Ahsoka leaves at some point. You see, I want to see that meeting between Luke and Ahsoka. Dude.
I joked around. I don't know if I said this to you, but Dave Filoni cannot leave the Clone Wars. He can't. He's
He's intent on making sure that the Clone Wars is ingrained in Star Wars now.
Yeah.
That people can't be like, oh, that's just Clone Wars. That's not. He's making sure that it's ingrained by adding in Ahsoka, having her meet Luke Skywalker to make sure that there's a connection. Adding Cad Bane facing down people,
I was mentioning it because we're seeing Order 66 again. It's like we're seeing it again. He can't just stop. He can't stop himself from, like, you must show clones.
Those are the first, right? That's like the first reappearance of clones in, like, a live action thing, right? Yeah. We've seen battle droids.
Well, we also see. Well, what do you mean? We've seen a clone before earlier.
In armor, in clone armor, clone trooper.
Clone trooper. Okay, now you're changing because we've seen. Clones.
I mean a clone trooper. I shortened clone trooper to clone.
Okay, because we've seen. Boba is a clone.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
The girl in Jurassic Fallen Kingdom is also a clone.
That's true. That's also true.
She's also a clone. Don't forget. She's a clone.
True.
They cloned.
Clone troopers. Okay. There you go. Clone troopers. Where were we?
We're talking about Fallen Kingdom.
Well, we were talking about, he's making sure the Clone Wars is not forgotten.
Yeah.
Never forget Clone Wars.
There's this one line Okay, should we move on to Cad Bane?
Sure.
So Cad Bane.
Yeah, I mentioned Cad Bane.
There was, like, a whole thing about, like, I'm not that boy anymore. It's like they're referencing the Clone Wars. Like,
they're referencing the never released episode of Clone Wars, basically, right?
Maybe.
Because that's the only time they interacted was in that episode. Was in those unreleased episodes. I don't think they really talked in the prison.
Did.
In the prison? No.
Not in the prison, but, like,
when?
Oh my gosh.
Because they both worked with
Aura
Aura Singh.
before.
They worked with Aura Singh, but they were never on the same job.
Were they in the box together? No, I don't think Boba was not in the box.
Boba wasn't in the box. Boba Fett was in that arc in the prison, but he didn't go to the box. Mm-hmm. Same with Bosk. Bosk didn't go to the box.
I want to see Boba Fett and Cad Bane hang out in Bad Batch Season 2.
That'd be cool, but a lot of things point to that they already had their confrontation, right?
Yeah, but that's totally
you think
fine.
That they should just meet though? Does Boba Fett work, or not Boba? Cad Bane makes a point about Boba Fett worked for the Empire. Did Cad Bane not work for the Empire?
It seemed like he probably didn't. Who cares? Who
Right.
cares what Cad Bane was doing? I thought Cad
That's
Bane
what
was
I'm
dead
curious
before
about.
this show. Like, he's already dead. He's already long dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, he's working for Kira.
But he was cool.
Yeah.
His design fell a little off, but I got used to it by that second appearance. I was like, all right, this is Cad Bane.
They killed him.
And then they killed him.
Which I was like,
And I was like, oh, the king of bounty hunters is dead. Hail the new king.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It took, who knows? Do you think this is a nerfed Cad Bane because he's probably pretty old too?
He's nerfed just in the fact he never uses jet boots.
He also doesn't have his droid.
Well, that droid was useless anyways,
Oh,
though.
what do you mean? It could explode. He just explodes them. During the little building, not anymore.
I've never liked that droid.
It works differently because in the Clone Wars he was kind of like the main character of those episodes, and you needed kind of a comedy relief kind of droid character, and here you don't need that.
Right.
So
He's the villain. He's practically the antagonist.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, you were saying, is he scaled down? I mean, his shot isn't scaled down. He was nailing people, but he had like flamethrowers and he had like he had the gauntlets on, or his bracers on, but he didn't use any of the tech on them. He also, I don't know if he had jet boots in this, did he at all? Because he used to have jet boots. We saw him use them, but yeah.
He did go match to match with Obi-Wan Kenobi in a lightsaber battle and lived. He used that lightsaber for 3 seconds.
About 3 seconds, yeah. He took down Ahsoka at one point.
He did.
He took down young Ahsoka, very young. First costume Ahsoka. Yeah, and basically outplayed Anakin in that way.
Yeah. I still say Cad Bane, greatest bounty hunter.
Yeah, that's what I said. He was the king of bounty hunters.
He still is. I think, obviously, Boba Fett beat him fair and square.
Right.
I'm not making the argument of an Iron Man versus Captain America fight. Not that fight does not count.
Right. I'm just saying that. Right. I'm saying up to that point he was the king of bounty hunters, and then after his death, there has to be a new king of bounty hunters. Who would that be?
I feel like it took so long to get to this point. I feel like this battle should have already happened.
Who? Bane versus
Cad Bane versus Boba Fett.
Boba? I don't know.
I mean, it works. I'm glad we saw it in live action. That's pretty cool.
Right. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other characters do we want to mention?
We saw a BB unit.
BD unit.
BD unit. You're right.
It's different.
I said BB.
BB is
like BB-8.
Yeah. We saw BD, which is Cal Kestis's droid from Fallen Order.
Do you think you're gonna see BB-8 in like Mando sometime?
I don't think they're invented yet.
Okay. When do you think we're gonna see somebody like, I'm gonna invent a new type of astromech?
No, to be honest.
That'll be a little bit on the nose. That's like having a character in like a prequel show where it's like looks just like an actor of an android in a later show. He's like, I know exactly what I'm gonna make. I'm gonna start working on an artificial life form.
So for people that don't know what he's referencing the ancestor of the man who invented Data, the android, in Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yes.
That's what he's referencing. Who appeared in Star Trek Enterprise.
In the worst.
That's what he's referencing.
In like one of the worst Star Trek episodes I've ever seen, ever.
What was?
The episode I was just referencing?
No, those are good episodes.
Oh, no, those were awful.
Those are good episodes.
Those were awful. No, some of the worst.
You're the only one that thinks the last season of that show is the worst. Everybody else is like, they're hitting their stride.
No, the third season
and they
was
got
the best
taken
one.
out. I would probably agree with you. I'm just saying a lot of other people were like, they hit their stride and they were taken out too soon.
Yeah. I definitely wish the show went
on. What else?
We're probably an hour and 30 minutes in, and we're talking about Star Trek Enterprise.
We're an hour like 24 right now.
We're out of practice.
Are there any other characters we need to mention?
No.
What about the Hutts? Do you wish the Hutts were, because they had the Hutt twins? Do you wish they were?
Let's talk about characters that didn't show up that I wish they went.
No, we don't need to.
I want to see Aldrin Ehrenreich. I want to see Kira. Neither of those.
Can you do an Aldrin Ehrenreich with a show with a CGI Luke
No, you
Skywalker,
can't.
though? You can't do that. There's
You can't.
no way.
You can't.
There's no way you do that.
That'd be so weird. It's like, wait, you got
So jarring.
and you got him. Maybe if it's like, how'd you feel if they if they did a season 2? You don't see CGI Luke Skywalker in that season, but you have Aldrin Ehrenreich.
I still think it'd be weird.
It would still be weird.
It'd still be weird, yeah. Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah. I want to see Aldrin Ehrenreich play Han Solo again. You also got to see Kira. I want to see Kira again.
You wanted to see Kira. I think that was a common theory that she might have shown up, but
I never saw that anywhere.
I saw some thumbnails with Kira about Boba that were videos about Book of Boba Fett.
Season 2, Kira showing up if there's a season 2 of the show, which nothing's been confirmed or anything.
How old would she be? Would she be old though? Would she be older?
Well, people don't age in this show. Also, you can CGI them to make them look older and stuff and whatever.
Other characters. I wish they did more with those Hutts, but they didn't. I thought they could have been cool.
Yeah.
I also thought they were gonna. He was gonna unite the Tusken Raider tribes, and they were gonna end up living amongst the people of Mos Espa. Cool. But they didn't do that at all. They got. I think they should have replaced the whole trying to unite the Freetown people with the Tusken Raiders.
Agreed.
That was my thought.
How do you like how Vamp? He wasn't in the show a whole lot.
No, he showed up. He made his appearance, and then he got shot.
He got shot.
And then he was in the. Yeah, then he was in the back to tank about to get cyborged.
I thought for a moment that was Cad Bane in the back to tank. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, interesting.
But no, it's clearly not.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything else to talk about for the show. Other than it makes me excited for Mando.
If we see a season...
book, it's a book. I said show, but it's a book.
Like how Andor was already confirmed to have a season 2 already coming out.
Okay.
That was my third piece of news I never got to fit in.
Oh.
Andor season 2.
All right.
Maybe Book of Boba Fett season 2 could happen. It may seem like it was a one-time off show.
Yeah, I don't care. I think they could tie it into something else and just continue with our stories.
I hope we see Kira.
I don't care.
That's fair. I'm probably.
I want to see Darksaber. I want to see Thrawn.
Thrawn, yes. That's where all these shows are leading to.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep getting Mando kind of a straight narrow. We're gonna be like, one off Book of Boba Fett, one off Ahsoka, one off Heroes of the Republic story, and then they all kind of combine to go make
Heir to the Empire.
Yeah, Thrawn.
Their spin on Heir to the Empire.
Thrawn creating the First Order.
I don't think he's gonna create the First Order. I think he's gonna be like the Chiss. I think he's gonna be with the Chiss Ascendancy, and show up as like, check me out, or something.
Okay.
That's my bet. But I think that's the end of our review. Let's give our scores. Joey, 0 or 1.
Oh, I 1.
Yep, I also give it a 1, so it gets the full total of 3.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You mean 2 because our votes are the same.
No, it's 3. Well, you gave yours first, so yours is the least significant bit. It's either 0 or 1. Mine is second. Mine is the second bit, which is either 0 or 1. Because just a 0 or 1, that's 1. But a 1-0, that's 2. So a 1-1, that's 3. There you go.
I see.
That's how binary works, you know. We like to give lessons in binary on this show as well.
We don't like just saying, what is a 7 out of 10 going to tell me? What's that going to tell me? Is either watch or don't watch.
Watch. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. You either watch or you don't watch it.
That's the true reasoning between.
Well, we could do. What if we did this for books/shows, where we give a rating out of episodes? Like they have a certain number of episodes, right? So say Book of Boba Fett had 7 chapters. So we rank it out of 7.
That would be so weird. And like whenever
so we should do it.
Whenever each episode's like, you know, that episode wasn't good, that episode wasn't good, but that one was good.
Right.
So that's 1 out of 3.
It's a like we liked probably about 5 out of the 7 episodes of the show. So we would give it a 5 out of 7. Watch 5 out of 7 episodes.
But then Book of Boba Fett would get, what would it be? A 2 out of 7?
No, that's what I said.
Yeah.
So we liked 5 out of the 7 episodes. So it would be a 5 out of 7. Mm-hmm. Right? Score.
I don't think that's fair.
What do you mean that's not fair?
No, because at the end of the day, you're watching the whole show. You're not going to skip an episode.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
No, we're doing 1 and 0.
Okay.
We're not changing that.
Just think on that. Think on that.
Okay.
We'll let the viewers decide. If the viewers think that for shows,
why are you talking
we should give that.
They're listening to the podcast. They're not viewing us.
Listeners. Listeners.
I get called out about that. Is that what we say? Our viewers. No, they're not.
Oh, we're on YouTube. YouTube, you get views.
Yeah.
So we don't do anything on anything else, so we don't have listeners yet.
Maybe this episode will be on Spotify.
Probably not.
Someday.
And
then we're gonna be like, ooh, this didn't age well.
Right. Unless we don't release our old stuff on Spotify.
Oh, we will.
We'll see. All right. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Fast and Lightspeed podcast. Check us out on Twitter. We'll be. I haven't posted anything on Twitter, so I don't know why I have this in our outro.
Check out my Twitch, Ash Pacer.
No. Should we do a Harry Potter?
Yes, we should.
Just dunking.
Yeah, we should. I don't know when, but sometime.
Okay.
Next time we'll probably be the Batman, if I had to guess. 3 weeks.
Sure. Okay.
3 weeks.
So, yeah, this has been your Captain Kenny Lightspeed with my EXO.
Joey.
And this has been the Faster Than Lightspeed podcast. I didn't cut him saying Ash Pacer. He just didn't say it. He said, ah.
Yeah.
Thank you.